Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Thursday, the 15th of February. With Robert Murray McShane, we began reading Paul's first letter to the Corinthians yesterday. So today we read the second chapter. And Paul continues the discussion about the gospel and how it's perceived in the world. We're told that the Jews, it's a stumbling block to them, it's foolishness to the Gentiles. And when people are looking for wisdom, the gospel doesn't stand out from the world's perspective. And in verse 6 of chapter 2, Paul says, "We do, however, speak a message of wisdom among the mature." So he's talking about not the old people, but spiritually mature, about people that have been touched by God. He says, "But it's not the wisdom of this age or of the rulers of this age who are coming to nothing." Who are coming to nothing. And I read that and I thought, the world is so fixated on the here and now. And you think of what we see in the newspapers, the politicians, the rulers of this age. And I think we're going to see many, many more news stories about politicians because there are elections all over the show in 2024. Not only South Africa, we've seen it beginning in America as well. And the rulers of this age, here are people looking for power. They want to rule the world. They want to certainly govern their own countries. And it's so short term. And one thinks of the businessman, and you look at the business that's going on, and people jockeying for position, and who's the richest person in the world, and how are companies growing. And we've just had some of the awards evenings in the arts and entertainment, and people looking for Grammys and looking for Oscars, and all of those accolades that the world gives, all these people that the world fates and holds up, and they become a paragon of what we should be and what we should strive for and where we should be going. Paul says all of that is coming to nothing. It counts for nothing long term. And as Christians, we hold on to that and we say, we have a hope that is steadfast and certain, gone through the curtain and touching the throne. We're looking beyond the grave. We recognize we might not be the greatest this side of the grave. We might not be the richest or the cleverest or the most famous or any of those kind of things. But we are looking beyond the grave to eternity. We're saying that's where the reality of our existence will finally come to fruition. And while I might be the richest person in the world, and even if I'm the richest person in the world for my entire life, I will have a few billion or $100 billion for the next 20, 30 years, and then it's gone. However, as a child of God, I step into eternity and I have all the riches of Christ that will be mine as I join him as his brother, as a son, as a child of God in his kingdom for eternity. So when the world looks at what it's doing and says, this is what it's all about, we stop and say, the wisdom of this age and the rulers of this age are all coming to nothing. They're not worth following. We need to remember that. Be blessed.